I think I was in the 1963, 64 is where I attended residential school. I was going into grade 5. And there's just a few of us that went from my grades that were going into grade 5, and my neighbor Nancy was part of that, and we were driven over, as far as I can remember, in somebody's car. You know, we'd pile in and they'd take us over. But I didn't know the circumstances surrounding that, why I had to go and why I couldn't stay at day school. When we got to the mission, I remember asking, you know, how come we had to be there?
Some of my scarier memories growing up were probably with my mother and father fighting, you know, like that was very, I felt very out of control. I felt like a part of me was being tested or taken away in a way. And especially, I don't want to keep on reminiscing about it, but when my father kind of left that part, it made me a lot more vulnerable.
You know, if they have no one to talk to, no one that had the time to listen to them, how do they come to understand, you know, that it was not their fault? She took off in one of the bathroom stalls, and she climbed up on the seat. She locked the bathroom door so the sister couldn't get to her. But we didn't know what her offense was. Like, what did she do to deserve them chasing her around like that? And we knew she was different. But as children, you know, we watch, and there's not much we could do. They sent another little girl under to open the door, and they took her, but we don't know what happened.
My grandpa used to always tell me when I'd talk about the war and kind of what his experience and stuff was like, and he would always tell me, it's a hell of a thing. But knowing that you're fighting that hard for not only your own legacy, but the well-being of others, you kind of come out of this battled and scarred up, cut and bruised, so that somebody coming behind you may not see the same path of thorns.
In giving children the ability to follow their dreams, to have a dream, to want to play in sports, to help one along the way, to give them that opportunity, the best opportunity they can. You know, it might be the only way out sometimes.
Finding a healthy way to express myself. Early in my life, I thought it was hockey. I thought a lot of the time when I was playing hockey that I was able to express every piece of anger, sadness, and happiness that I was feeling, every bit of excitement that I was feeling. It felt very freeing in the moment.
I think realizing that the community that I was immersed in didn't have adequate tools to create a space that was foreign to us. a lot of lateral violence and a lot of physical violence, a lot of alcoholism. Those are some of the factors. But the other factors that we don't talk about are the leadership, the mentorship, our communal integrity, the open door policy of going down to your other granny's house to borrow sugar or get tea. Like that sense of community is what really kind of started to spark how healing could happen. Well, I think that a lot of the time we're going to go through different challenges no matter what they are, whether they're academic, personal loss, employment.
Education has helped me move forward because I'm able to read books from authors that wrote about the experience of their experience, personal experience at the mission, or someone doing interviews. I do read a lot more books, and through an adult's eye, I can look back and think that there were terrible things that were done.
Somewhere along the way, I had to learn how to believe in myself. I'd say it starts there.